Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Cruz MMA. Today, I am with a special guest. You've seen him on the show a couple of times, but this time, man, he's making his UFC debut. He's taking on Rhys McKee. He is Mr. Daniel Frunza. Daniel, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing great. Sore, extremely sore, but I'm doing great, obviously. Thank you so much. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. Obviously, you're part of a very tough training camp right now, getting ready for Rhys McKee. What was that feeling like when you got the phone call from manager, from Sean or Mick saying, "Here we go. Here's the opponent. You're gonna make your debut."
Well, listen, I was expecting something. I was waiting for the call around February or March, and nothing. I got the call, and I got the name for for April 5th. I wanted so bad Miami because it's Miami is the week later, and I would have loved to jump on the Miami card. I thought the UFC is gonna be like, okay, this kid is from Miami. We're gonna put him on that card, but no, they gave me a I think a better place, you know, in the Miami card. So I can't be not happy. I'm very happy, very grateful, and yeah, ready to jump in.
When
Ready.
you look at the Apex, obviously it's a smaller cage than what you would in Miami or any other show in an actual stadium. Do you think that goes in your favor here?
No, no. I mean, a fight is a fight. If it's a big cage, it's a big cage. If it's a small cage, I fought my entire career all the way to contender in a smaller cage. So to me, it's almost natural to fight in that kind of cage. I think a bigger cage would not make a difference because of my style of fighting. But nah, nah, that's no difference. Makes no difference the size of the cage.
We're a few months now following the victory on the Contender Series. Has it really started to finally set in that you're in the UFC?
Uh, yeah, it took me a few days for the thing to kind of sink in, and then nothing. Once I kind of fully came out of that dream state after the contender, I was like, okay, I'm in the UFC now, back to work and work harder. You know, it was just it started to become even harder now. Because the trainings are harder and everything is harder. So I thought I was training hard until I started to train again for the UFC fight. So nah, just now I'm 100% in fighting mode. So yeah, I'm happy.
So many people watch the sport. There's a phenomenon right now called the casual fan. These are the people, they're usually drunk a lot of times. They're at B-dubs watching the fights. They're in the stands. They might yell, twist them in the you know what. You're a crotch sniffer, crotch humper. They have all these crazy things. How do you take these people?
Well, listen, at the end of the day, they they paid the ticket for us. They're the casual fan that just wants to be entertained, and you can't blame them. For those kind of commentary. It's extremely ignorant, but you know it is what it is. You can't make everyone happy. Now, my style of fighting kind of make the casual fan happy. Because I come forward and I come to throw hands, and but yeah. mm, to me, I think I'm appealing to the casual fan. The casual fan is not my enemy.
And that's exactly why I brought that point up, man. When you go out there, man, you put on a show. I mean, a Daniel Frunza fight is never boring. There's a lot of movement, there's a high pace, and usually ends up with a finish. You take a lot of pride in fighting like that.
Well, as long as it's not me to taking the damage, yes. It's when I get hit that I'm pissed after. But hey, it is what it is. Comes with the territory. More you fight, and more I go ahead in my career. I face harder and harder and harder opposition. So obviously, I try to adjust, not to be so much head forward, and especially for this fight that I'm fighting a extremely precise striker, not very powerful but precise. I change a lot, and a lot of movement, a lot. I You'll see. Just tune in April 5th. Just tune in. sit tight, and enjoy. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say too much.
I think another thing we're seeing in this day and age is how business driven mixed martial arts and combat sports is. So when you think about, man, when you're fighting on the regional scene, every fight that you take, that's a business decision to try to get you to the pro scene. Who you're doing interviews with, who you're putting on Instagram, who are you training with, who are your coaches? These are all business decisions. Manager, do you feel this is a business? Is this something that you really start to realize?
Yes, like there are things that can push you a little bit ahead, but not too much. At the end of the day, you are your own business. Like you do business, your performance is your business card, And again, you can come from a big management company or from a big gym with famous coaches and have on your corner great names. If you go there and get smoked in 20 seconds and look like a fool, it works until one point, And then those kind of people won't want to be around you for too much, So again, I think it's all about the performance. Like if the performance is there, everything comes with it. All the business aspect of the thing comes with it. I really believe that.
Let's talk about the fight here a little bit. April 5th, taking on Rhys McKee. Overall, what do you think of Rhys as an opponent?
He's great. He's really good. Like many people text me, "Oh my God, easy fight." I'm like, no, he's not. He's not an easy fight. First of all, he's a welterweight world champion in Cage Warriors. People don't understand what that means. That puts you on a world-class level. Now, he had extremely tough fights in the UFC. Yes. That happened for him to lose. Yes. That means he sucks. No. He fought Arj Losa. Extremely tough, extremely strong fighter. And I have him at Kilpin. Arj is extremely talented and strong, and he's an amazing fighter. He fought Alex Morono. Great stand-up, great jiu-jitsu, extremely dynamic fighter. Very hard to figure out because he moves a lot and he punch hard. He fought Njokwani, Chidi, extremely strong, very good striker, and they went to decision. And then in his previous fight, he fought Kamzat. Like really? Like he fought top of the food chain opposition. So yes, you may lose against these kind of people. Yes, you can win, but if you lose, you didn't lost against some dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I really believe he's a great fighter. He just had extremely tough opposition in the UFC. I really believe that. I think if he would have took another route with a different approach, I think he would have done 10 million times better. But he just took extremely hard fight. That says a lot about his character and about his heart. Like he doesn't give a damn about nothing. Like you put somebody in front of him, he'll sign the contract and just charge forward. Either win or lose, he'll come to fight you. So I do not underestimate this guy at all. Actually, contrary, I take him extremely serious and I train hard, like really hard for him. That's my way to show respect to him. Just train really hard because I won't underestimate him. Now, if the fight goes 3 minutes or 3 rounds, I don't know, but I'll be ready for either 3 minutes or 3 rounds. I'll be ready to fight him all the way to the end. Because to me it's extremely tough. I really believe he's an extremely good guy, very good, talented. He just took tough fights, very tough fights, and didn't pay off for him.
You talked about a little before. He likes to strike. You're obviously a guy who likes to strike. You have a lot of abilities on the hands. Is it safe to say, should we be surprised that this is either a dogfight or someone's going to sleep here in the first round?
I don't know. I don't know. I train really hard. I don't know how the fight is going to be. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to come forward. That's all I know. That's all I know. I know I'm going to come forward. Now, how I'm going to take the approach to the fight, obviously, I'll be really, really cautious. Like, I'm not going to jump head in. He's kind of my size, maybe a little bit taller. Has a little bit more reach. He has like 77 inch, so it's pretty long. Uh, I don't think he has enough power to hurt me, although with 4 ounce gloves and he's pretty precise, you don't need much. You know, you get touched in the chin, and by the time you realize what happens, you count the lights on the ceiling. So I'll be extremely cautious. The approach is going to be, methodical, because I do not underestimate him. That's it. I do not underestimate him. I'll take my time and I'll pick my shots. And if I'll see an opportunity to finish him quick, I will do it. Oh, 100%. Like, I'm going to do it. Or if I see no openings and he does a good job, I'm going to just start to, little by little start to breaking him down. I will not do nothing stupid. No way. Because to me, as a striker, he's good. Like, everyone that beat him, took him down, kind of smothered him, kind of tried to make it dirty. I don't do that, you know. So it's going to be a stand-up fight, and I need to be really careful about it.
Achieving financial freedom in combat sports is something that's very difficult, especially, when you're fighting on the regional scene. A lot of guys are losing money there. It's a crazy sort of environment. You get called up to the UFC now, making your debut. Now we find ourselves in a situation on a fight night where we have these $50,000 bonuses on the line here. And I think if you want to win a fight, a bonus, you have better odds on a fight night like this as you do a pay-per-view, just because it doesn't really matter if you're the first fight on a fight night, if you're the main event. It's all the same, in my opinion, to me at least. Do you look at this? Is this something like, the whole bonus things? Obviously, you let the fight play out the way it is, but is that in the back of your mind?
Yes, 100%. 100%. I would lie. I would be a liar if I say that's not true. Yes, 100%. I'm 30. So I'll be here for another 5 or 6 years, if God's will. So yes, I wanna make the money, but first and foremost, I don't think about that, in the sense of, if you go into the fight thinking about the money, brother, you're gonna lose. Like, it will distract your mind, or you will try too hard, or you'll do something stupid. When I'm fighting, I don't think about the money. Like, in that moment, I'm focused on the opponent, and that's it. And normally things happen to me, in the sense of, I never think about the next fight or the money, or I just take the fight the way it is, and I just try to kind of exit the cage with no injuries, with no harm. I just try to finish the fight, win in a beautiful way, and then we'll talk about the money later, or for the next fight, Like, I take it one at a time. I never think about, oh, in 2 years I'll be a multi whatever. That's normally never happens like this. You need to take things one at a time, and then after the fight, normally the beautiful things happen. Sponsorship or deals or stuff like that, with wins. That doesn't happen. Now that you're in the UFC, now you're gonna achieve financial freedom. That's not true. That's bullshit. That's not true. You can go in there and work 10 years out of your life, and you go on 2-3 losing streak, and see you. It's for your own good. You should not be there. Like, UFC will cut you out of love, for your own good, because you should not be there, because you're getting killed. So yeah, I take it one at a time, and everything else, the rest will come, little by little.
You mentioned you're 30 years old. On the Contender Series, Dana White said multiple times, I'm not out here looking for 30-year-old contenders, all this stuff. Obviously age is just a number, but do you kind of also take that as like, I'm 30, you mentioned maybe 5-6 more years of fighting, that now is the time and you just got to go run with it. There's no really being too selective here. They throw someone at you, you take them, and you get to the next guy.
Well, listen, I want to be smart about this business, because it's a business, and it's in a business you need to take right decision and some risks sometimes. If the risk match the reward, 100%, you call me and the next day I'll fight somebody. If the risk match the reward. If not, I'm not stupid. I'm not one of these guys that, oh yes, anyone, anywhere, anytime. Like, yes, but there's some conditions to it. Like, you'll receive my services if the reward is matched. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the type of guy, anyone, anytime, anywhere. But there's a, with capital letters, but. So I want to be smart about it. All the way to even to contender, I took risks in my career that brought me all the way to UFC, but they were very not controlled risks, but the risk reward ratio, it was worth it. So I took those decisions, I took those fights, and I took those chances, and it paid off. Even to the contender, who the hell would take a 17-1 on a contender fight? Like, no one in its right mind. Yet I knew I can win. And God, I ripped my knee apart a week before, and I just went there on one leg and still won. I still knew I can do it. So again, the risk reward ratio was, the reward was too big for me just not to take it. So if the two things coincide and it's worth it, yes, I will take risk or short notice fights, no problem.
Obviously now making some noise, being in the UFC, having that status, having that platform. What's been the reactions like from people? Are you getting a lot of messages on Instagram? Are people recognizing you? Or is there a lot of guys at the gym coming up to you?
So yes, a lot, but I don't let that get to my head, because I'm still no one. I just try to make my way and make it correctly, and show, especially to people from my country, that it's possible. I have a lot of support, like huge support from people from my country, and we're gonna try to make that even bigger, and bring to, especially to the Romanian public, closer to the UFC, and for the young fighters that are coming up, to have a leader, to have somebody that they look up to and follow the footsteps. So that's what we try to do now. Like, I care about the attention, but I care more about the attention from my people. We try to do something, home. Bring more, make myself more known at home. That's the goal. And with this fight, with a good victory, that will happen. So yeah.
Obviously you've been in this world of combat sports for a while now, fought on a lot of different promotions, been doing this for a long time. But now do you feel, does the journey really start now?
Yes, 100%. Like, everything that I did all the way here was for me to bring me to this start line, because this is the start line. Now it's, this is a new level. I start 0-0 in my head. I'm 0-0, no knockouts, no losses, no nothing. I'm 0-0. It's my debut, so yeah, I intend to do it extremely, extremely well, and I'll be 100% focused, and I am, especially in trainings and in the preparation leading to the fight. I put my 100% in to start this new journey in a correct way.
Are you looking to be very active this year?
Depends. Yes, I would like, at least after this fight, at least 2 more, 3 more. If I'm healthy, I fight. If I'm healthy, I'm fight. I'm not here to sit on the bench and watch other people fight. If I'm healthy, 100%, 100%, because I train all the time. After the fights, I never get fat between fights. I never take long layoff. I take like 5 days, 1 week at max, and then I'm back in training and getting ready for the next one. So I would like 3 times, maybe 4. Who knows? If I'm healthy, yeah, expect for me to be more consistent. 100%.
There's some great fighters in that division that you're in, especially, in the top 15. Probably 3-4 fights away from maybe cracking that mark. But are those guys still on your mind? Do you still think of them right now?
I watch them. I have an eye on them. Yes, 100%. That's because those guys, all of them, we are all around the same age. All of us, outside a few that already like 36, 7, whatever. All top guys right now are between 28 and 31 years old. All of them. So they are all my age, and yeah, of course, I have my both eyes on them. But
Right.
no, I need to make it there. They are already there. They made it there. They fought their fights. They won you know, their fights. They did well. They're out of there. Now it's my time to do it. So I don't think too much about it, but I have an eye on them 100%. Yep.
Every single fighter, they go through sacrifices. It's really a journey. It's a climb to get to this point. I mean, you're no different. Obviously, moving to the United States, jumping from different countries around the world, changing different gyms, taking a short notice opportunity that changes your life. Looking back at it, after achieving this milestone, we haven't achieved the goal yet. We're at the first step of it being in the UFC. Were you able to really reflect and look back at the journey?
I would not change a thing. I would not change a thing. Maybe the only thing that I would change would be COVID. The only thing I would cancel out of my life, and I think out of everyone's life, would be COVID. That damn thing and all that damn situation, which obviously was at a world level, was not on us. Uh, I would cancel that because that put my ass on the bench for 2.5 years. That was the only thing that I would change. Other than that, I would not change a thing, and everything I did, I would do it exactly the same because all the steps that I took, everything that I did was for me to be here now talking to you. So, I would not change a thing because everything made me a really, really dangerous fighter to deal with. So, yeah, I would not change a thing. I would do everything and all the sacrifices all over again. So, yeah, nothing. I will not change nothing.
All right, Daniel, last question, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome? April 5th at the Apex when you make your UFC debut against Rhys McKee.
Third round KO. I think it's going to be a ground and pound. I don't think if it's a clean KO, I would be extremely happy. And I'll obviously, as always, I look for that. But I think it's going to be a third round KO. That is my prediction. Third round KO because he's a very good fighter. He knows how to fight. He's not some slouch. He knows how to fight, and he will come to fight me. He is most likely on his last fight in the UFC. I will not take that as it's on his way out. No. He's gonna come to fight me. He's gonna be extremely prepared, extremely focused, and I know he'll come to try to beat me up. So I think it's gonna be a third round KO. I'm gonna stop him in the third round by ground and pound.
Awesome, man. Well,
That's
Dan, awesome prediction. Thank you again for hopping on here once again, man. Always a pleasure talking.
My pleasure, Carl.
Awesome. It's going to be excited to watch you make your debut, and I think we have fireworks in store for us. So that's it for us tonight. That is Mr. Daniel Frunza. I'm Carl Frunza. Stick around, fight.